Okay. Yeah, this is a sad story unfolding in New York City.
Yeah, NFL near tragedy. I hate to think what, and I wrote about it on one of my columns this week. What a dark day we had, middle of the week. This terrible story that could have been a terrible tragedy with the NFL league office, with the guy coming from Las Vegas, walking across the street in Manhattan with an AR-15, walking across the patios into the main office building, firing shots. And he killed 4 people. Got in an elevator. He was trying to get the NFL league office. He punched the wrong floor. He went to the 33rd floor, got off the elevator, shot and killed somebody else, got back in, went down a stairwell, killed himself. Terrible story. The loss of those lives. Even worse story, had he gained entrance, the NFL league office is on the 5th floor. He went to the 33rd floor. Had he walked into the NFL league office, firing an AR-15, could you imagine the casualty rate? How bad it would have been. He got access to 945 Park Avenue just at 6 p.m., just before they closed the building. History of mental health problems. He legally purchased these guns, legally purchased the parts to these guns, built these guns, even though he had a history of mental health issues. He wrote 2 suicide notes, one he carried with him, one they found in his home in Las Vegas, in which he ranted and raved about the NFL, the concussion settlement, the lawsuits. He talked about the documentary League of Denial. He talked about the movie Concussion. He read the book that was written by the 2 ESPN reporters about the genesis of the concussion lawsuits, etc. He maintains he had CTE. You won't know that until they actually do the autopsy on his brain. He told people he played in the NFL, he played in Canada. He did not. He played high school football. He was a running back in Orange County, but he worked at a casino in Las Vegas. But I mean, it's just a horrid story. And the potential of what the tragedy could have been had he actually gotten in the front door on the 5th floor of the NFL league office. Just, John, what a terrible story.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you can say about this one. 2 thoughts come to mind, kind of one sort of random. It's weird how he's wanted to go to the 5th floor and he landed on the 33rd. I wonder if it's one of those, really high rises that has different elevators for different levels of it.
That's the case.
And he must have stepped into the wrong elevator. But this whole thing, you could talk about, did he buy guns legally, all that. That's a whole hornet's nest of conversation. But what this does prove to me is that the NFL has a serious CTE problem, needs to be addressed. This problem goes beyond the scope of football. It's societal. And I think this is also, we're seeing these are cultural issues in our country that need to be straightened out. And you hear all the chirping about gun control, and there's a lot of, potential benefit to that, but that's not the source of the problem. The source of the problem are these people that, they either adore guns, they like to build them, or they've got some problems mentally, like this guy with CTE. It's just tragic.
Red flag. It's a red flag everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Needs to be licensing on every individual who wants to buy a firearm. Don't screech to me about, I have a right to bear arms. Not if you're a felon who's been in prison, not if you have mental health issues. There needs to be a screening process before approval is given, so you can buy arms, or I can buy arms, or my kid who hunts can buy arms. We don't have that. And that I don't want to hear about prayers and thoughts. That's such empty rhetoric to me that is so disgusting. So there seems no end to the tragedies, and there seems to be no solution whatsoever about the handling of firearms. There's freaking guns everywhere, legally and illegally.
You got a lot of MAGA fans that like to watch this podcast. You're going to get a couple of shots yourself.
That's okay.
Yeah, some email shots.
You can invoke your First Amendment like I'm invoked in my First Amendment. You have a right to bear arms if you're cleared to bear arms. This could have been a horrific tragedy, at the NFL league office.